everyone, it's John from What Up. Before we start, I want to mention two things. One, I can't speak tonight, so this video is going to be full of me flubbing and going blah, 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 a lot. And two, myself, Rebecca from Reading the Pattern, and Lauren from Unraveling the Pattern, two other Wheel of Time YouTube channels, are going to be on the Black Tower podcast Monday, February 17th. Now, I've left a link in the description box down below so you guys can check them out. Please listen to that podcast. I had a whole lot of fun doing it. It was a fantastic time. The guys there are really great. And we get into some Wheel of Time stuff, amongst other things, but it was a blast. So please check them out and listen to their multitude of other podcasts. Also, at the end of this video, in my community section, I'm featuring the weekly Wheel News. I've left a timestamp down below in the description box if you want to skip there at any point to check out what they have. And I get into everything that they do on Twitter and amongst other places. So I won't spoil it till then. All right, so before we start the video, I do want to say spoiler warning. In this video, I'm going to be talking a lot about New Spring, which is a prequel novel to the Wheel of Time series, a little bit about the Eye of the World, and a little bit about the Great Hunt. So I may spoil things up to and including the end of the Great Hunt, although probably not a whole lot from the first two books of the series, but I'm going to be spoiling a ton from New Spring. So if you haven't read those three books yet, or if you want to watch the show fresh, or if you're still doing the read right now, be forewarned, I will talk about some things that are probably going to ruin some of the character arcs and plot points in those three books. All right, now on to the video. All right, so I'm going to record this section of the video. I'm going to try to do it in one take, one block. And I'm lying to you already. It's not one take. I've recorded it a bunch of times. But I'm trying to do it in one block so it's a little more organic and flowy. So if I make some mistakes, it is what it is. I'm going to begin by saying I hope you guys noticed the new intro. It's a little bit shorter than the old one we had. And it's based on your feedback. So you guys said that you wanted the intro to be a little bit shorter, a little bit more music in it. So Alyssa, the one who does all the graphic design and music for the channel, took it upon herself to kind of rework it a bit. And I think it looks great. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. If you like the way the new intro is, it's a little bit shorter with some more music. All right, let's get into the news we got this week. This news revolves pretty much all around weather. Cold, wintry, blustery, gross weather. And as a Canadian, I consider myself an expert on cold, wintry, gross, blustery weather. I think, actually, it was minus 35 here last night with the wind chill. And that's Celsius, not Fahrenheit for anyone using the imperial system. But I couldn't tell you what it is for Fahrenheit because I don't have a calculator up here. But it's cold, very cold. We got a lot of snow back. I barbecued in it last night, and it was fantastic. So, this weather and the filming in it, it's kind of important where I think they might be filming now. So we're going to go through some of the posts that have been put up this week, and then I'm going to talk about what I think it means for the pacing and where they're filming at in the show right now. So this first slide you see here is Sarah Nakamura. She's a book consultant for the show. She's very active on Twitter, so if you guys haven't followed her yet on Twitter, please do so. And she posted a picture of her work uniform for the week, which is winter boots and ski pants, and she looks super pumped about that. Nobody's really pumped about wearing that stuff, so we all sympathize, Sarah. So we know that she's going to be outdoors in the cold and it's going to be gross. This second picture here and this third one, so you have a chance to look at this one here first before I click to the third one, are both posted by Priyanka Bose, who plays Alana Masfani in the series. Here's the third one here, and they're beautiful pictures. She didn't post the pictures. She posted I think it was a 13 or 15 second video to her Instagram, basically showing how gross and cold and snowy it is right now on filming location. And I took these screen grabs from that video. I'm not going to show the videos, but I'll show the screen grabs. So that's a second person saying it's gross and cold this week and kind of complaining about it. And then we have this one. This is another video from Instagram from Daniel Henney, who plays Lan. Looks like a long, cold day on location, and there's a lot of snow there. And the full video shows him driving in what looks to be an SUV down a road in the dark with a lot of snow outside. And then we have this picture here by Peter Franzen, who is playing an unknown character that we're not quite sure of yet. This is another screen grab from a video he put on Instagram, which, incidentally, I can't find that video now. I looked around a little bit. I couldn't see it. Doesn't mean it's pulled down. Just means that I had terrible sleuthing skills. Let's actually found this screen grab for me. Thank you very much for that. And it shows a couple cars spinning out as they're driving up a snowy road, and then he pans back to himself in the park, kind of complaining about the cold. So, what does all this mean? Well, they're filming in the snow, and if you think about it, The Eye of the World and The Great Hunt really don't have many instances where they talk about snow very much. And the instances they do talk about snow doesn't really involve these particular characters, because Alana is not in the Eye of the World at all, and Alana is in the Great Hunt. However, she's not in any really snowy spots when it happens in the Great Hunt. And correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe the only instance of snow mentioned really in the Great Hunt is when Perrin tries to contact some wolves, and they talk to him about Elias Longtooth, and Elias is running through the snow after a deer. I'm pretty sure that's the only mention of snow in the book. I could be wrong, and please correct me in the comment section down below. I know you will anyway, but please do so. But I think that's it. So what could they be filming if there's not much snow in the Eye of the World, there's not much snow in the Great Hunt, and these particular characters? Well, I think they're filming some sections from New Spring. Now, there's a lot of supporting evidence or circumstantial evidence that supports my theory, but let's look at what we're going on here. They're in the snow. It's gross. It's cold out. New Spring starts in the year, I'm going to have to look at some notes here, 978, which is the end of the Aiel War. Now, the very first chapter, The Hook, has Lan tromping around in calf-deep snow. It's freezing, everybody's cold. We all know that Rand was born on the side of the Dragon Mountain in the snow and the cold when Tam found him. So there's a lot of mentions all throughout New Spring of snow and cold and grossness. Now, we know the weather fits because, especially the first few scenes in this book, the first few chapters, they're in snow. It happens. Now, do the characters fit? Well, Lan is one of the major characters in New Spring. He's throughout the whole book, him and Moraine. Now, we have seen nothing from Rosamund Pike. However, I don't think we've seen much from her at all, really, since filming began. Very, very few things from her coming out. Almost nothing having to do with the show. So I can't guess whether or not she's in these shots, but Lan's being filmed, so if Lan's on screen, I'm assuming Moraine's there with him as well. We know Alana's in New Spring because she is one of the accepted that Tamara, the Amerlin at the time, sends out to do a census on all the babies born around Tar-Valon, because they're trying to find the Dragon Reborn, basically, with Moraine and Suin. Now, it's not a huge stretch to say that Alana's there. I haven't seen any videos from her warders saying that they're out in the snow and the cold, or pictures. However, there's been a whole slew of pictures of her with her warders, especially over Valentine's Day weekend. I think Rafe was complaining a little bit about that. Good-heartedly, of course, good-naturedly on Twitter, that he was without his significant other for Valentine's Day because they were off with their Aes Sedai filming. So, it's not a huge stretch that she's accepted in the books, and she becomes an Aes Sedai later on, in New Spring, that she has already met her warders, because there is a section in the books where she is already talking about wanting to be a Green, wanting to have a bunch of warders, wanting to be Battle Adja, so it wouldn't be a huge stretch to have, maybe some of her warders in these scenes as well. Now, that brings us to the last person. So we know that Lan's in New Spring, we know that Alana's in New Spring. Now, Peter Franzen, who does he play? Well, we don't know. What we know about his character is very little. We know he's a warder, for sure. He gave an interview earlier this year that basically said he is a guardian to one of the Aes Sedai. He's a warder. He also said that he is currently filming a battle scene, so big battle scene, it's huge, but after that he is mostly in dramatic scenes for the show. Now, does that mean forever? Does that mean just for the first season, second season? We don't know, but we do know that he's a warder that's in a battle scene, and then he's in a dramatic scene. So this leaves us with a couple of different options of whose warder he could be. Could be Suin's. Now, Ulrich was bonded in 979, so 1 year after the Aiel War. Maybe she met him before, maybe he's fighting with Lan, maybe he's in these scenes, and we see a moment where maybe they both get bonded, which would be, I think it'd be pretty cool. We know that Rafe's going to change a few things up. That could be one of the minor changes. He's going to show that stuff on screen. And I'd like to see that, honestly, Suin bonding Ulrich. I think it would be good to build up that relationship. So, that is the first theory of who Peter's character could be. And the second theory that I have is I think he might be Thomas, Varen's warder. Now, Varen is in New Spring. Briefly, she's in a couple of the chapters. She talks to the girls in the tower. And it's not a big stretch to say Thomas is out fighting, and then he's back in dramatic scenes because Varen doesn't do a whole lot of fighting in the books. She's more of a mediator. She's Brown Aja, so she does a lot of sleuthing and investigating and history and stuff. So it's not a big stretch to think that maybe he's playing her warder as well. I don't know. But I am almost sure that these scenes that filming in the winter are for New Spring. So that tells us that episode 5 and 6, Blood Calls Blood, and Flame Carvalon are probably going to show some flashbacks to New Spring, which is fantastic to me. I mean, I want to see some of New Spring incorporated into the first season because it will help explain a lot of things that people that are new to the show, who have not read the books before, which, let's face it, they're going to be a majority of the viewers, are going to need to see to understand certain things that are going on. I think it would be a big help to them, and it would be it would help gloss over some of the mistakes that, say, The Witcher or Game of Thrones made, where they didn't explain certain things. They just kind of said, yeah, this is the way it is, and people will understand it. So I think if they do this, they will. So I believe, from what we've seen this week, that they're probably filming some flashback scenes for New Spring. Now, again, it's all speculation. I want to stress that. It's my own speculation. I don't have any real concrete information that says that this is definitely what they're doing. This is just my thoughts. But, you know, there's my evidence, and we'll see what you guys think. All right, so before we get to the community section, I do want to mention that the channel has been growing fairly rapidly, and I appreciate that. And thank you all very much for that. So if you do like the videos, click that like button, leave a comment down below. It keeps the YouTube metrics happy. And if you have not already subscribed to the channel, please do so. I know that a lot of you folks that are viewing these videos are not subscribers. It only takes a second to click the subscribe button and click that notification bell. I put out 2 to 3 videos a week. Not really on a set schedule, but they're all Wheel of Time on Prime centric. Mostly news about the show. So if you like what you see, please hit that subscribe button so you can hear more from me. All right, thank you very much, and let's get on to the community section. Hi everyone, welcome to the community section of my video. Thanks for sticking with me this far. I'm featuring some pretty cool stuff this week. So we're featuring the Weekly Wheel News. So they are kind of a gag tabloid. It started in October of 2018. You see their first issue, spatial awareness is bad, right there, as sort of a gag thing. Now, Jen and Jess from the White Tower podcast did teasers and stuff during their podcast, and these people kind of went with it, and they made these tabloids up from that. So it's pretty cool. Now, in January of 2019, they won Wraith's Writers' Room contest, and because of that, a bunch of these issues are featured at the Writers' Room wall in Prague, which that's pretty freaking cool. Now, I'm going to read a little blurb they sent me about what they do, and yeah, here we go. So, the Weekly Wheel News is often blocked on Facebook by elated loyalists, but you can always find the newest issues on Twitter, Instagram, and Tumblr. Now, I've linked their Twitter down below in the description box, so you can follow them there. They always tweet out their stuff, and it's real good for a laugh, so you can take a look at those. The Weekly Wheel News is Randland's only reliable news source. If you don't believe that, you're a dark friend. All right, so let's take a look at some of these issues here. So we have this one here. This one came out pretty much the same day that I speculated on Jennifer's casting, and I thought she may have been Suin Sash, but I was wrong. But it's pretty funny. Here's another one, and so they sent me 4 or 5 of these to take a look at. This one here, and the last one they sent me here, this one. So they're pretty current. They keep up with stuff in the news about the show. So it's not just things that are in the books, but anything that the actors post on Instagram or Twitter. They kind of incorporate that into their issues, and it's pretty friggin' funny. I like it. I really do. So please follow them on Twitter. Check them out and support them. Now, I do want to mention before I go that this is, honest to God, one of my favorite sections of the video I do. I love doing the community section because it allows me to interact with other Wheel of Time creators. So the podcast, the other channels, people like the Weekly Wheel News, artists, I get to talk with all these people, and it's really cool because you get to see how big the Wheel of Time community really is, and we all like to support each other, and it's fantastic. So, on that note, that warm and fuzzy, awesome note after a wintry, blustery, gross video, I want to wish you guys well, and thank you all so much, and here's to many more.